Trident killers can be used to make farms fully automatic, and along with that you can add looting 3 effect to it, which of course will then give you 3 times the amount of resources of any animal or mob drop. But how do you actually make one? Well, there are many designs, but I'm going to be showing you the 2 easiest designs right now. So anyways, let's get into it. So the difference between these 2 designs are not really that much, however it's only really the materials that are differently. So for the first design I'm going to be showing you, you're going to need 4 pistons, 4 observers, 4 redstone torches, 1 lever to turn on and off the trident killer, and of course a trident. Now for the second design it's pretty much the same resources, however instead of having 4 redstone torches you have 4 observers. So of course it's up to you which one you want to use, but I'm going to show you both of them and explain them a little bit. So anyways, to build the first trident killer, what you will have to do is of course place yourself out a piston, then going to the right of that piston you will have to place yourself out a redstone torch. Then while looking at the redstone torch and standing in front of the piston, you will have to place yourself out an observer, and now if you head behind here, the little redstone face or the face on the observer should be looking towards the redstone torch, and the little redstone eye right here should be going away from the piston. Then the next step after done this is to place yourself out the piston right here, and then pretty much just continue the step we did earlier. So from this piston place the redstone torch right here, then while standing in front of the piston you just place yourself out an observer, the little redstone eye should be looking pretty much the same way the piston is, place yourself out the piston right in front of the redstone eye, place yourself out the redstone torch, observer, piston, redstone torch, observer, and then you should be linked back to the first piston. So now if I fly up you should have something that looks along the lines of this. Now to make sure that this works you can simply place yourself out the lever on top of one of the pistons. If you flick this on, this thing will kind of go around once and all the pistons will be pushed out once. Then if we turn this off, now all the pistons will go around in a circle constantly like that. Now we can turn this off and throw the trident we want to use for this farm, for example, on top of one of the pistons. And now if we turn this on, the trident will be pushed around, which means that any mobs that will land inside here will be killed. So to quickly show you an example of this, if I were to expand this wall upwards by using some glass and then spawn a cow inside there, the cow will be killed by the trident and it will obviously drop the resources that the cows drop, as you can see. And obviously to turn this off you would simply have to turn this off, like that. And you can of course head in here and manually pick up the resources, or you can of course simply add some chests and hoppers under that will be collecting the items. Now there are 2 ways to do this. One is by simply digging down 3 blocks, and then you will have some hoppers going into a chest right here, like this, and then obviously have some hopper minecarts on top of here, and then simply blocks right here like this, so simply whenever any items drop on top of here they will be picked up by the hopper minecart. Or if you don't want to use hopper minecarts because you just don't, or you can of course just place yourself out a chest right here. You will obviously need to access this room, so you will need to dig yourself out here, then place some hoppers right here, simply going into the chest like this. And now if we throw out the trident again, turn this on, place a bunch of creepers inside there, as you can see we can now head down into the chest when they have died, and the items will be picked up by the hopper, as you can see. Now of course in the beginning I mentioned the looting 3 effect. Now to turn this on you will have to hold a sword that has looting 3 enchantment, and then simply turn on the farm while that looting 3 enchantment is on your sword. Now this will pretty much means that while turning on the farm while holding looting 3 sword, the looting 3 effect will kind of be sent over to the trident, which means that if we head down here, from those creepers who died we got 5 gunpowder. This pretty much means that if we were to use a looting 3 trident instead, we could get between 10 and 15 gunpowder instead. But anyways, this is the first design, so let me head over and show you the second one. Now the second design is very similar. So to build the second design you're gonna have to place yourself out the piston, then you will have to go to the right side of the piston, and while looking at the piston you're gonna have to place an observer that faces outwards. So pretty much the little redstone eye should be looking out away from the side of that piston. Then you will have to place yourself another observer right here while looking at the first observer we placed, and this little observer should have the redstone eye facing the same way as the first piston. And now we're pretty much done with the first steps. Now you're just gonna need to copy and paste this all around in a circle. So simply place yourself out a piston right here, then head to the right side of that piston and place yourself out an observer while looking at that piston. Then simply place yourself out an observer right here while looking at the first observer we placed. Place yourself out the piston right here, observer right here, observer, piston, observer, and then an observer. So now to make sure this works, place yourself at the lever on top of one of the pistons, turn this on, this should go around once, turn it off again or on again, whatever, and now this will go around constantly. So we can do the same thing we did on the other side, and we can throw ourselves in a trident, turn it on, make sure it works, it does. And of course you can build some walls around here if you just want to do that. And now if we turn it on again and spawn in some creepers here, let's also grab a sheep egg because there's a sheep up here. Very convenient, we can place some sheep inside there. You can see that it's clearly dropping wool and sheep meat. Yeah, that is pretty much that, and no matter how many mobs are spawned inside there, they will die pretty quickly because trident killers are pretty powerful, as you can see. So anyways, that is pretty much how we build the 2 easiest designs of trident killers, and now you have 2 designs to choose from depending on how many observers you want to use and just stuff like that, whatever you think looks the best. Yeah, that is pretty much that for this one. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions about how this works or anything like that, feel free to leave them down below and I'll try to answer you as quickly as possible. So anyways, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.